My name is Julia, and I know it's been a long time, and I'm so sorry. I have not forgotten about all of y'all, and I have something pretty, pretty big to share with you guys today. Some of you may know, and I've alluded to it in some of my lives, that I have gotten amazing messages from probably hundreds of people who also are telling their stories of their friends, their neighbors, their parents, their siblings, their aunts, their uncles, who were taken advantage of by in person con artists, having undue influence, and at sometimes having a non familial will coercion. And so many of you have been writing to me your stories. So today, I'm going to be sharing one of those stories that came to me from a gentleman, an older gentleman in Illinois. And I am not going to say his name because as I read his story that he wrote to me, he's very fearful of retaliation. But I really want you to listen to this story because it will resonate with you. And I have his permission, and we're going to do so in a legal way. But I will be exposing, because you know my platform, expose, prevent, protect. I will be exposing who this gentleman believes is the alleged con artist of his dear friend for many, many decades. So, if I may, I'm going to read to you his letter, so bear with me. And I have deleted all of his personal information because, again, he doesn't want that out there. I'm going to read as quickly as I can, but I also want it to be meaningful. So I will have emphasis, and I hope it doesn't take two parts, but I do hope that if it does take two parts, you'll continue and go on to part two, because at the end is when I'm going to be exposing this con artist's name and where this person lives, allegedly. So this is what he says. Hello, Julia. Thank you for all of your hard work. Are you able to offer some advice? Someone very close to me has shown me your videos, and now I'm an old person on TikTok. I have a dear friend from my union. He was about 80 years old, and he was definitely taken advantage of. This woman had an agenda. It was months after his wife passed away when this woman started coming around, walking her dog past his house, making conversation with him. It's weird. I mean, out of the blue, she just started showing up and kind of flirting. It seemed forced. Even I saw her once, and it was like she knew he would be an easy trick and a widower. She had conversations with him while he sat on his porch, and then she weaseled herself into his house, inviting herself in for coffee, giving sob stories of having no one to take care of her, and her doctor appointment was in a bad part of the city. I tried to warn my buddy. I saw her for what she was, and he would get defensive with me. He actually emptied out his bank account, and I believed he shared that account with at least one of his kids, and she changed all of his passwords on everything, medical, etc. He said even he couldn't get into all of the accounts, only her. And I know for certain his kids were his go-tos for those sorts of things like medical, and they were warning him about her too. He emptied out that bank account. And this was all before they were married less than a year later. She would tell my friend that she would rock his world in bed, but he had to put a ring on it. She blocked even my number, some of his friends, his kids, his family from his phone without his knowledge. I found out by accident. He was healthy and telling me he'd felt the best he ever had, but he surely looked tired. Less than a week later, while on a road trip with her in Georgia, he died. I'm sorry, I lost my place. I know this lady was doing what you would term undue influence. He even signed a quick claim deed giving her and his deceased wife's home of over 50 years. My friend only had a sixth grade education. He didn't understand financial responsibility, and he would often say his wife, and then after she passed, his daughter did all of that for him, handled all of his financials. I believe he didn't even know what he was signing. He would always say that the house would be his kids. Now his kids have nothing from their dad or their mother, and now this woman took it all from his kids. I'm pretty sure she's completely cut off the kids from their father's home. My buddy passed without a will, and he and his wife didn't have much except for that house. I never thought I would know someone who fits so perfectly with what you talk about, but I do, and I'm so angry that my buddy was taken advantage of. I simply refuse to walk away and let her get away with this and take everything. I'm so angry. I heard from another old union guy that she has a lawyer and he did the quit claim deed, and this guy was her longtime friend. This guy would take my friend to expensive dinners and pretend to be his so-called friend. He just died last July in 2024, and no one, not his friends of decades or even his kids, could see him before he was cremated because she had that body prepped and flew his body home. I'm afraid this is only a portion of this horrible story. This is only parts of what she did. She ruined my relationship with my buddy, his kids, his daughter. They did everything for their mom and dad. But in the end, he just got angry with them and with me and everyone who tried to warn him about this woman. It was like he was a different person. He was so under her influence. It ruined our friendship that we had had for decades. I truly tried to warn and protect him, but she caught on and ordered me out of his life. I really wanted to continue our friendship, but I felt like he hated me because I tried to warn and protect him. I don't know, it's so hard to believe. I think maybe if I just went along with it, maybe not tried to tell him about my suspicions of this woman, maybe none of this would have happened. But then realization hits. She absolutely was conning him, and she's pure evil. Thank you again. It's just so justifying to have anybody outside of my little world understand this. And I see you out these people, and I hope you can use your platform for me too. She needs to be stopped, or at the very least, exposed. And I'm going to get to who she is. She didn't even take his name except when it came to just getting her money, her hands on his money and the house. She disgusts and infuriates me just thinking of her sitting in the house where he and his wife and both of our families would get together and have such wonderful times. It's much more than just a house, though. His wife had Parkinson's. In the last 15 years of her life, she was even diagnosed with cancer, and then she passed away a month after her diagnosis. She dealt with so much with my buddy. Bless him, he was an alcoholic for 30 years of their 56-year marriage. He'd get his check on Friday and not come home till Sunday afternoon. I know his wife really struggled for her family, for him, and their kids. All to stand by my buddy's side through everything. There's just a little bit more, so please follow for part 2.